Hello and welcome back to the Microsoft Fabric training related to different elements that we will be covering. And in this module and in this video, I will be going through the data factory pipeline in Microsoft Fabric. As you may know, that data pipelines define a sequence of activity that orchestrate an overall process. It's usually by extracting the data from one or more sources and then loading into the destination. And often it also requires some, like, we can do some transformation in the pipeline and use the ETL process to transform the data to load somewhere in a lake house or a warehouse. So uh, if you are familiar with the Azure Data Factory, then you know data pipelines for Microsoft Fabric will be same as the Azure Data Factory, but if you're not, then we'll go through each and every steps using Microsoft Fabric interface, and we will also schedule them to uh, run them automatically. As you know that we have created a lake house and created an end-to-end reporting with the data set as well as the SQL endpoint in our previous video, but this we will continue to utilize this lake house to prepare or create a pipeline. As you can see, we have created a lake house in Fabric where we've enabled, we've loaded sales data, and in that sales data, we've got some unstructured data as well as some structured data. So as you can see, this is the sales data with the table related to order numbers, the order date and customer name and etc. So this is the lake house for the sales as well as the details related to the sales is here. So what we will do is now we will create a pipeline. Based on that, we'll go back to this workspace again, and as you have seen, we have created a Power BI report as well from that lake house directly. So we will go back to the workspace again. Remember, this is under data factory. So if you go back to data factory, you will have direct access to the pipeline itself. So we will click on data pipeline. So see, it's now opening up as new pipeline, and we will name this pipeline as in um, sales data ingestion. We have to select the sensitivity label as well, so we'll use it as internal and create. So you will see now that the pipeline would be will be created, and it automatically takes us to a page where once this is done we will see it will have some few elements. Let's go through that. So which are the core concepts in the pipeline. So if you can see, if it's still creating a pipeline, and if it has created a pipeline called sales data ingestion. If I click on this one, as you can see, there are options, there are few activities or few concepts of pipeline. One is this activity, the other one is what you call it, in that activity there are some elements which we are considering. um, the other things are related to the pipeline execution. We can schedule, we can run, and we can do some. In this activity we can have certain things which we can apply, like we can do some transformations. We can do some control as well. We can control the data flow. We can do some conditions, apply some filters, and other aspect, like switching and waiting until something, and also connect machine learning algorithms in that as well. If we click on copy data, so we can add pipeline activity, we can copy data, and we can choose a task to start. If we choose a task to start, and this will give an option which with multiple things to consider. It is just giving a template, which we are specifying, like bulk copy from database, from file, or delete files older than 30 days, delta copy from database. So this is kind of a template that has been given. As soon as we click on it, it will open up a pipeline. It will a pre-generated pipeline. We just need to switch our connections to them. We will start off by copying data here. So if you want to copy data wizard, we just click on activities and go to copy data, and we just click on add to canvas. But we can also use it from this data pipeline. So this will open up a dialog box, and it will say copy data into the lake house. It is asking us for a data source. We have the link. Currently I'm using a GitHub connection. So what with the CSV file, although we already have a CSV file or a connection loaded in the Azure SQL database, so we can either use that one and click on database, or we can go to other categories to select multiple connectors in that, and to fetch the data. So in this way, I mean, in at this stage, what we'll do is we'll just fetch it from GitHub, and this is the generic protocol HTTP we will be connecting. And if you select here, you see there are some existing connection if they are, or we can create a new connection. So we click on create a new connection, and give a kind of a, the URL is the GitHub repository, and then the connection detail is create a new connection, and connection name is just for example sales data unique, and authentication type can be basic, and we leave the user ID password as blank. If we click on next, it opens up the base URL, and it gives an option to advance extract or break down the URL based on that. So we leave the relative URL as blank. Request method is get, and binary copy is unselected. Request timeout is blank, and maximum concurrent connections is blank as well. We click on next. This is the file format that will be there. We can also preview the data, and it gives us the kind of an overview of what is to be loaded. It's giving us a schema as well about the column names, just the background. The CSV is comma separated files, and the line feed is just backslash n, not any other default. So yeah, this is one thing. This is in first row, as header is selected and compression type is none, so we'll just select this as it is. Click on next, and then we'll choose the destination. If we go to file, in the destination, what we can do is we can select multiple calculations as well. So if you want to select something um, here, from the file to the destination, as you've seen, we have created a lake house. So we click on lake house and select next. and then it will ask us to the lakehouse connection. We can create a new lakehouse as well, but we are selecting ls test fabric lakehouse, and there we've already created there. So now it is asking us to connect the data in the destination with the data mapping. So this route, this is asking us that which is the folder, and what is the thing that we have created. We select file here, and the folder path is new data sales, and file name is sales.csv, and copy behavior is nothing. So this is saying that if the identity you use to access the data store in the permission to subdirectory instead of the entire account, specify the path below. If we click on browse, it is asking me to to see the files with root folder as well as other folders. So this is a data folder that we created in the lake house. So I'll just rename this because I've loaded previous sales file as well. So sales1.csv. If you click on next, it will ask us the same thing, delimited text, comma, as well as just select line feed and add header to the file and leave the compression type as it is. Click next, and then it is showing copy summary, which means that from web link it is storing it in lakehouse. The source connection name is this one, and the file destination is this. So once you do save and run, this means that and there's an option called start data transfer immediately. So we click on save and run, and if you can see, this is a data a new pipeline has been created in order to see the copy data activity. If you right click on it in this pipeline and show lineage, it will show the details about this pipeline, and also it will give a detail check marks here because it has run successfully here. So now what we'll do is we'll go back to the workspace again, and if you say this is sales ingestion pipeline, if I open up lakehouse here in the fabric, and if you see a new file has been created called new data sales1.csv. So this means that there's a sales csv file, and this new data sales file is also there. If I click on this one, it will open up a sales preview of the file itself. So this means we are able to generate a lake house or connect a data pipeline based on the lake house. If we select the lineage view, what it will do is it will do a kind of a text CSV file with the ingestion, and then lakehouse will go to the lakehouse SQL endpoint and move on to the database to create the previous report. But we have created a text.csv file and ingested and used the pipeline to ingest the data there. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.